Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we're taking a look at the new Vow of the Disciple linear fusion rifle Cataclysmic. Every single bit of footage you see in this video for both damage and timing test has been provided by an online friend, Vaguebeef, so a truly massive thank you goes out to him. Now, every test was with 4 times the charm and high impact reserves, with different combinations of liquid coils, enhanced battery, a Boss Spec mod and a backup mag mod. Those combinations were liquid coils and a Boss Spec mod, liquid coils and a backup mag mod, enhanced battery and Boss Spec, and finally enhanced battery and backup. All testing was in a lunar well and there were no mods to boost reserves. This list is not exhaustive and I'll share my thoughts on other perks at the end of the video. Onto the graph, I'm just going to compare some exotics for context, those being Sleeper Simulant, Whisper of the Worm and Parasite. Normally I'd throw the Lament in there as well, but with the current tracking problems that it's suffering from, I'm going to leave it out regardless of how good it is on paper. Firstly though, running through some damage numbers. Full magazine damage is on screen for each and a table to break it down. High impact reserves doesn't have a hard number at which it starts to buff damage and is based off of the total size of the mag. For example, if you have 6 or 7 in a magazine, it starts to buff damage at 4 remaining rounds onwards. However, if you have 5 in a magazine, it only starts from 3 remaining rounds onwards. But that point at which high impact reserves procs is based off of the magazine size stat and not what's in the magazine when you reload, as the final mag for enhanced battery plus a backup mag mod in this test only has 5 rounds, which I have included, and high impact reserve starts to buff damage when there's 4 remaining, not like 3 with liquid coils and a Boss Spec mod, if that makes sense. So onto the timings, with all examples on screen. For the first magazine of each, it's rather predictable. The Boss Spec variants are ahead, particularly with liquid coils. However, once that liquid and Boss Spec example needs to reload, it falls behind. It can regain its lead over the backup mag examples once they reload, and the longer the test goes on, the more that extra damage per round pulls it further ahead, to the point where even they can struggle to get ahead when liquid and Boss Spec is reloading. But Boss Spec and enhanced battery is clearly a winner. Partway through its second mag, it pulls ahead of Boss Spec and liquid and only occasionally falls behind, and again it's only brief. And against the backup mag examples, well, it's ahead all the time and never behind. Even for total damage, Boss Spec and enhanced battery is the better choice. Onto the graph with the previously mentioned exotics, and the first example is liquid plus Boss Spec. This matches Whisper for the opening mag but falls behind upon the first reload. It momentarily passes Sleeper while that's reloading, but again eventually falls behind and stays behind, only to pass again once the exotics run out of ammo. Parasite in a league of its own for the first 7 to 8 seconds, as we might have guessed. Liquid and backup now, and as we've seen with the side-by-side comparison, this doesn't do too bad initially, pulling ahead while the Boss Spec example reloads, but after that it gradually falls further and further behind as the test goes on, only marginally taking the lead towards the end of the second mag. Enhanced with Boss Spec now, the clear winner from the side-by-side tests, and everything that happened there clearly visible here. Drops behind liquid and Boss Spec after the first reload and momentarily after the second reload, but ultimately for the majority of the test, it's ahead or at a minimum matching the other Cataclysmic examples. However, it still can't really pass Whisper until it's ran out of ammo, and the same can be said for Sleeper. And finally, it's enhanced plus a backup mag mod. I'm not really going to talk about this one, as it's more or less on par with liquid plus backup, and if you have enhanced battery, it's clear you should be using Boss Spec rather than a backup mag mod. So a lot of these leapfrog each other due to the shift in reload times. Enhanced plus Boss Spec is a clear winner in my eyes, although even that falls behind briefly due to the mentioned reload shifts. For a damage phase that lasts 15 to 20 seconds or so, they might not be the better choice, but for anything over that, or 2 separate damage phases of around 15 seconds where during the time in between it's difficult to replenish heavy ammo, they could be the better choice here. This all depends on the situation, and let's not forget ease of use. While everything except Parasite requires precision hits, Cataclysmic is especially vulnerable to DPS tanking if you miss any of those. Ease of use and player skill is just as important as the potential numbers on paper. Some perks the round included are accelerated coils, which is often the best or one of the best perks for DPS in that column, but at the expense of total damage. I do feel it would be similar to enhanced and a boss spec mod here. Focus Fury sounds like it could have strong DPS potential, but I'm still unsure exactly what that kind of buff is and I haven't tested it. And Clown Cartridge, while perked with 4 times the charm, should have the potential to provide 11 rounds in a mag with a boss spec mod equipped, but I'm not sure that will make up for the reduction in damage per round, as of course there'll be no high impact reserves. I'm now working on a video of this weapon paired with Witherhoard and hope to put it up against the trio of Izanagi's auto-loading breach grenade launcher and an auto-loading rocket launcher. Until then, that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.